You've probably heard the myth, the Great Wall of China is so massive you can see it from the moon. It's one of those stories that gets repeated so often, it almost feels like it must be true. The idea of a human-made structure so gigantic that it's visible from outer space is pretty mind-blowing, and it's easy to see why people love to believe it. But that's just not true. In reality, the Great Wall is incredibly long, but it's also quite narrow compared to the vastness of the Earth. Astronauts have looked for it, and it's simply too narrow to spot from that far away, like trying to see a single thread from across a soccer field. Even from low Earth orbit, the wall blends in with the natural landscape, making it nearly impossible to pick out with the naked eye. Still, the Great Wall is one of the largest and most ambitious structures ever built by humans, stretching across mountains, deserts, and grasslands. Imagine a wall stretching from New York to California. That's how long it is. Over 13,000 miles winding and twisting across the landscape, it's a true marvel of engineering and determination. The myth about seeing it from space started long before anyone actually went there. Early writers and travelers were amazed by the wall's scale, and the legend just grew over time. It was just a way to show how impressive the wall is, a symbol of human achievement and ambition. But the real story is even more fascinating. Emperors, soldiers, and millions of workers built this stone dragon over thousands of years, facing harsh conditions and incredible challenges. So, let's uncover the real secrets of the Great Wall, why it was built, who built it, and what makes it truly incredible. Its history is filled with tales of defense, unity, and the sheer willpower of a civilization. Forget the moon! Let's get up close and discover its wonders right here on Earth, where its true scale and story come to life before our eyes. In ancient times, kingdoms faced constant threats from nomadic raiders on horseback. These raiders could appear suddenly, striking villages and towns before vanishing back into the vast open plains. For the people living near the borders, life was filled with uncertainty and fear, never knowing when the next attack might come. To protect their people and secure their lands, emperors built massive walls, giant fences that marked their territory and kept enemies out. These walls stretched for miles, crossing mountains, rivers, and deserts, creating a physical barrier that was difficult to cross. These walls gave people a sense of safety, much like a castle's walls protect those inside. Villagers could go about their daily lives, farm their fields, and raise their families, knowing that a strong barrier stood between them and danger. Soldiers could stand guard, watching for danger and sending signals if trouble approached. They used smoke by day and fire by night to warn of incoming threats, creating an early warning system that stretched across the land. The wall wasn't just for defense, it was a symbol of the ruler's power and the empire's strength. Its sheer size and scale showed everyone, both inside and outside the kingdom, that the emperor was in control. Building such a wall required thousands of workers, careful planning, and enormous resources. It showed everyone that the kingdom was organized, wealthy, and not to be messed with. The wall itself became a testament to human determination and unity. It was a message to outsiders: this land is protected. Anyone who tried to invade would face not just soldiers, but a mighty wall standing in their way. The wall also helped control who could enter or leave, making it easier to manage trade and collect taxes. Gates became checkpoints where merchants, travelers, and diplomats were carefully watched and recorded. So the Great Wall was both a shield and a statement, a line drawn in stone to keep the empire safe and show its might. It shaped the landscape and the lives of everyone who lived near it. It was a simple idea, but it changed the course of history. The wall became a lasting symbol of unity, protection, and the will to endure. And it all started with a need for safety and a desire to show strength, a vision that would echo through the ages and leave a mark on the world forever. The Great Wall as we know it began with Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor. He united warring states into one empire over 2,000 years ago and wanted to protect it from northern tribes like the Xiongnu. His solution? Connect and expand existing walls into one massive defensive line. General Meng led the project, commanding soldiers, commoners, and prisoners to build the wall. Hundreds of thousands were sent north to work, an enormous effort for a single goal: security. The wall wasn't just about defense. It controlled trade and travel, with gates acting as checkpoints for merchants on the Silk Road. Officials could tax goods passing through, making the empire richer. So the wall was both a shield and a tool for economic power. Emperor Qin's vision was ambitious. He wanted to protect, control, and prosper. This was the true beginning of the Great Wall's legend, and it set the stage for centuries of construction and history. Building the Great Wall was a monumental task that spanned centuries, involving the efforts of countless people across generations. It wasn't the work of a single emperor or dynasty, but a project that evolved over time, shaped by the needs and ambitions of many rulers. Different dynasties contributed to its construction, but the Ming Dynasty, over 500 years ago, made some of the most significant additions. Their work gave the wall much of its iconic look that we recognize today, with strong stone fortifications and watchtowers. At first, soldiers were the main builders. When they weren't defending the borders, they were put to work hauling stones and building walls. But the sheer scale of the project meant there were never enough soldiers to get the job done. To fill the gap, ordinary farmers were forced to leave their fields and families behind. For many, it was a harsh and heartbreaking duty, as they toiled under the sun, often far from home, to build something they might never see completed. Prisoners and criminals were also sent to the wall as punishment. They endured some of the harshest conditions, facing dangerous work, little food, and the constant threat of injury or worse. Many workers were sent far from their villages, watched over by armed guards to prevent escape. Life on the wall was grueling, and many never returned home. Alongside them, skilled craftsmen and paid laborers joined the effort. They shaped stones, fired bricks, and designed the intricate watchtowers and gates that still stand today, adding artistry and strength to the wall. Each group, whether forced or willing, added their own piece to the wall. Over generations, their combined efforts created a structure that stretched across mountains, deserts, and plains. The result is a patchwork of human effort: soldiers, farmers, prisoners, and artisans, all leaving their mark in different styles and materials, reflecting the diversity of those who built it. The Great Wall isn't just one continuous barrier, but a series of walls and fortifications built over nearly 2,000 years, each section telling its own story. Every stone, every brick, holds the memory of sweat, sacrifice, and determination. The wall's weathered surface is a silent witness to the struggles and hopes of its builders. The Great Wall stands as a monument to teamwork and perseverance on a scale rarely seen in human history, stretching farther than the eye can see. Its builders came from every corner of the vast Chinese empire, united by duty, necessity, or ambition, and together they created one of the world's greatest wonders. Life for wall builders was brutally hard. They worked in scorching summers and freezing winters, hauling heavy stones up steep mountains with only simple tools. The work was dangerous. Falls, injuries, and disease were common. Many died, earning the wall the nickname, the world's longest cemetery. Workers lived in rough camps, far from family, with little comfort or rest. Their days were filled with endless labor, sunrise to sunset. Soldiers guarding the wall faced their own hardships: loneliness, harsh weather, and constant vigilance. Watchtowers were cramped and cold, especially in winter. Both builders and guards sacrificed much to keep the empire safe. The wall stands as a testament to their endurance and sacrifice. For villagers near the Great Wall, life was shaped by its presence. The wall offered protection from raids, letting farmers work in peace. But it also meant higher taxes and the burden of supporting soldiers, sometimes even sending family members to help with repairs. The wall's gates became busy markets, where locals traded goods with merchants and even friendly nomads. It was a place of cultural exchange as well as defense. Living near the wall meant both safety and responsibility. These communities were the first to see warning signals and played a key role in the empire's defense. Their daily lives were forever linked to the stone dragon on the horizon. So how long is the Great Wall? It's not just one wall, but a network of walls, branches, and fortresses. Add it all up, and it stretches over 21,000 kilometers, more than 13,000 miles. That's like walking across the US and back, twice. The wall changes along its length near cities. It's tall and made of stone. In remote areas, it's earth and mud, sometimes just a low mound. Heights vary from 6 to 14 meters, taller than a giraffe or even a 4-story building. Builders used local materials, stone in the mountains, earth on the plains, even sand in the desert. They followed mountain ridges to make the wall even harder to attack. No modern machines, just human strength and ingenuity. It took millions of workers and hundreds of years. The Great Wall is a marvel of teamwork and determination. Every section tells a story of adaptation and survival. It's one of humanity's greatest achievements. The Great Wall is more than a barrier. It's a complex defense system. Watchtowers, built every few hundred meters, acted as the empire's eyes and ears. Soldiers used smoke signals by day and fires by night to send coded messages along the wall. News of an attack could travel hundreds of miles in hours. Fortresses and barracks housed soldiers and stored supplies, making the wall a living military base. The top of the wall was a wide walkway for troops to move quickly. Battlements protected archers, with gaps to shoot arrows and holes to drop rocks on attackers. Every detail was designed for defense and communication. The wall's clever features made it a formidable obstacle. It was a living, breathing shield for the empire. More than just stone and earth, it was a masterpiece of military engineering. The Great Wall's design helped it stand strong for centuries. The Great Wall is a story of emperors, soldiers, and the power of working together. Today, millions visit its ancient stones, imagining the lives of those who built and guarded it. Even if you can't see it in person, you can explore its history through books, videos, and stories. Every stone has a tale, every watchtower a secret. Learning about the Great Wall is like being a time-traveling detective. Thanks for joining this adventure. There are many more wonders to discover. Subscribe and come along for the next journey into history.